want to do is to talk to you about the Ivy League note-taking. It's taught across Ivy League institutions all across the world, and it's used by successful students across the globe. It relies on 3 stages of building a memory. The first one is encoding, writing down notes, capturing information, capturing audio or photographs, storing that information in a physical notebook, an A4 piece of paper that can go into your file using pen and paper, and retrieving, revisiting and reading your notes and the information that you've captured. This will really help you to secure your knowledge and understanding, to capture it in a really simple format, and to be able to go back to those notes to help you with revision and exam practice ready for your assessments. So let's get started. It's called the Cornell method, and the first thing we want to do is to set up our page. You'll notice that this is an A4 piece of paper. You'll notice it's split into 3 different sections. The first section is the note-taking column, which is about 2/3 of the page. The second third here is the Q column, and you'll notice that's probably just fractionally bigger than a normal margin that you would have on your A4 paper. And finally, the last third, right at the bottom of the page, is a summary, and we use this to capture the notes that we've managed to take during the session. We then need to add a title, a date, and who led the activity. This is really important because it pins the knowledge to a time, a date, and a person. Now you're going to start building your notes. Use subheadings and underline them. Please don't try and write everything down. Try to use keywords, key numbers, number your points and abbreviations. The key to success is using the same size paper, clearly ordered, no scraps of paper. Try to keep it neat and try to keep it organised. It's using the same principle as a teaching sequence. That way you can retrieve the information really quickly. It should always be handwritten. Try not to do this on the computer. When you go into your exam, you're going to need to write your answers. So this is really good practice for exam stamina and to get that handwriting nice and neat and organised. The Cornell method is a brilliant way of using your note-taking in class. It's brilliant for independent study from a video, a textbook, or a lecture. You'll find if you're going to college or university in a couple of years' time, this will be a really fantastic skill to take with you. The 2 to 6 spacing is really important. That big notes column in the middle is where you're going to record the main lesson notes. Always use concise sentences, keep it simple, use shorthand or abbreviations or lists, and try to put space between the points. Really helpful during class. The Q column, the pink column just where my cursor is running down, are the main ideas, the questions that connect points, perhaps some diagrams, perhaps some study prompts. Really useful for after school where you're just consolidating those main ideas after a lesson. And finally, the summary column. This is brilliant for top level main ideas. Perhaps use it as a quick reference area. Perhaps you could use this after class or during review. This is what it would look like in a notebook where you've got your questions, your notes and your summary. And you'll notice that actually it's mirroring each other on the left and the right side. So you've got a really nice sequence to your learning. The 5 R's are really important to remember. During a lesson, use that note-taking column to record the lesson using sentences. Reduce the words you're using. Recite, use that note-taking column to use as perhaps questions or keywords. Say aloud or in your own words. Always try and reflect on the material that you've just recorded by asking yourself key questions. What are the principles that they're based on? How can I apply them? How do they fit in with what I already know? And the review. Try to spend at least 10 minutes every week reviewing all your previous notes. If you do, you'll retain a great deal for the exam. This way you don't have to write separate revision notes. You're already doing that in your note-taking every single lesson. It's a brilliant way of saving yourself some time, but sequencing your learning in a nice, organised format. Here we go. This is my last slide, and here's a sample Cornell Notes. It's an English lesson, and you'll see that we've got the main note-taking, nice and simple here. The key questions, the cue, running down the left-hand side, and finally, right at the bottom, trying to pinpoint and hook that information so that you can make connections with other areas of learning. Have a go. I think you'll find it really useful to help you as you're getting yourself prepared for that exam. Start early and you'll find that actually it's a real time saver. And in true Mrs. Woodman style, keep it simple, but execute it brilliantly. Good luck, everybody.